Hi skaters. Today I spent some time swapping out my wheels and cleaning my bearings. So I decided to make a video about how to remove a wheel and the bearing and then replace the bearing and the wheel. These are my boardwalk skates that I bought this summer. And this is my skate tool that I will use to help me loosen the nut. Once it's loose enough, I can finish loosening it manually. Once I take the nut off, I can take the wheel off. I do not have a bearing press, so I am going to use my truck as a tool to help me remove the bearings. You can see there are two bearings in this wheel, one in the front, one in the back. So to get these out, I'm going to give myself a little leverage, and I am going to place the outside part of the wheel on the truck, lift it up near the top, and gently bend it, and the bearing will come right off. I'm going to turn my wheel around and do the same thing. Using this truck as a tool, I put the wheel on, gently twist it or like bend it, and the bearing comes right out. Now, if I wanted to clean my bearings, I would have to take the covers off. So I have this little push pin that I am going to use to wedge right where the cover meets the bearing. It comes right off. There's also a cover on the back of the bearing. I'll do the same thing. I broke that, but a safety pin will do. So I'll take this safety pin, open it. I will wedge it in and lift my cover. Pops out. Here it is. So now I can see the bearings, the actual ball bearings inside. So this is when I would clean this bearing in some type of solvent. You could use Windex, orange cleaner, alcohol. I think it has to be more than 70%. There are various ways to clean it. Those are just a few options that you have. But this is when you would clean it. Afterwards, you would make sure it's really dry. Put a little oil on the bearings. And when you're done, you would have to put the covers back on. So these have two sides, an inside and an outside. You want to make sure that the outside is showing. So you lay it on the bearing and just press it in, turn it over, do the same thing on the other side. Now, to get the bearings back into the wheel, you could also, which I'm going to do, is use my truck to help me. That's my tool. So what I would do is put the bearing on the truck, get the outside of the wheel, put it, like gently press it onto the truck, and then press it down. And there, your bearing is back in place. I take my other bearing, put it on the truck, turn my wheel over, put the wheel on the truck, press it down, and there you go. You have your two bearings in place. The wheel is ready to be replaced. So I'll put the wheel back on the truck, get the nut, tighten it, use my tool to make sure it's secure. It's a little too tight. So now the wheel is back on, spinning, and ready to go. So that is how you remove a wheel and bearing and then replace the wheel and bearing. Thanks for watching. I hope it was helpful.